A table receives every course on time, yet still leaves feeling unseen. The staff did everything correctly, but no one fostered warmth, curiosity, or a sense of belonging. That gap arises from mistaking service for hospitality and treating people as mere tasks. Service ensures accuracy and speed, while hospitality molds the emotional experience. When leaders neglect feelings, teams strive for perfection, customers forget the place, and pride becomes brittle. When leaders cultivate belonging, small moments become memorable, trust blossoms, and the work feels more noble. Imagine a dining room where questions are answered quickly, but eyes move away before connection forms. Now imagine a manager who notices a worry, names it kindly, and addresses it before it becomes a complaint. Next, we will explore intention, culture, language, smart systems, and improvisation that transform ordinary service into genuine care. This video is inspired by Unreasonable Hospitality by Guidara. Subscribe for more practical leadership ideas. Hospitality begins by seeing a person, not just by delivering a product or completing a transaction. It works by blending competence with attention, ensuring the guest feels recognized, safe, and welcome. A flawless process can leave no lasting memory, while a caring moment can anchor the entire visit. This matters because people return to places that make them feel included, not just places that perform tasks. When a young diner drops a napkin, a server replaces it instantly with calm respect. That small act communicates, "You belong here and the room exists to take care of you." Unreasonable generosity starts with ordinary details, handled with pride, consistency, and genuine human focus. Once that mindset spreads, teams stop asking what is required and start asking what would delight. Choose one recurring friction point, then design a grace note, a small extra that removes it quietly. Practice noticing, because the more specific the observation, the more personal the care feels. Intentionality means treating each decision, even small ones, as a choice aimed at a clear outcome. It works when priorities are written, non-negotiables are set, and the day is mapped before pressure arrives. Without this, teams default to urgency, react to the loudest voice, and lose the thread of care. With it, people know what matters first, so service stays steady even when the room gets chaotic. A parent begins before sunrise, handles caregiving routines, then works all day with stamina and order. That structure is not personality. It is planning that protects energy and keeps promises to others. The same approach can guide a team because each role becomes purposeful instead of improvising standards. When leaders explain the why behind standards, people understand the goal and can adapt with judgment. Start meetings by naming one priority for guests and one for co-workers, then align actions. End each shift by asking, what did we do today that made someone feel seen? Culture is built through shared language that makes values teachable, repeatable, and easy to act on. Short phrases become cues in the moment, turning abstract ideals into behaviours that people can copy instantly. When language is clear, feedback feels less personal, improvement feels normal, and standards rise steadily. When language is vague, every correction becomes a debate, and the team spends energy defending instead of serving. A charitable assumption means asking what happened before blaming, which keeps trust intact when someone is late. The same habit guides guest service, treating a rude moment as a clue, then choosing calm care. This approach keeps hospitality focused on people, as it protects empathy under pressure and speed. It also makes coaching easier, since managers can point to a phrase and the meaning is shared. Choose 3 phrases that match your values, then repeat them in training until they become reflexes. If you want more ways to build teams that care on purpose, subscribe for the next breakdown. Great hospitality requires freedom on the floor and systems behind the scenes to maintain consistent quality. Autonomy allows staff to respond like humans, while reporting and controls reveal problems early and guide fixes. Too many rules can stifle creativity, but without structure, waste and exhaustion become inevitable. The goal is a balanced approach where data protects the team, allowing them to focus on providing excellent care. A finance lead notices a sudden cost increase, traces it to a single ingredient, and flags it immediately. The chef substitutes the dish with another, keeping the team profitable without compromising the guest experience. This approach supports hospitality by reducing panic, and panic is the enemy of thoughtful service. It also preserves creativity, as less energy is wasted on crises that systems could have prevented. Review your recurring extras and eliminate anything that hinders execution, then elevate the standards for essentials. Teach people what numbers mean, so accountability feels supportive rather than controlling. Improvisational hospitality adapts to real-time insights, transforming them into meaningful gifts. Staff who listen for subtle cues and act swiftly with permission, and simple tools can create impactful moments. The value of these gifts lies in their personal significance, not in their cost or grandeur. This approach fosters loyalty, as guests remember feeling understood more than the menu details. Teams should keep a small surprise, like an off-menu favourite, ready to be offered without fanfare. Another team should prepare a small toolkit to handle common moments generously and efficiently. These actions exceed expectations while remaining practical enough to be repeated nightly. They also boost the team's morale, as those who love giving gifts take pride in their leaders' support. Brainstorm recurring moments, stock the necessary materials, and train everyone on when and how to use them. Publicly reward good judgment to make creativity a habit, not a rare heroic act. Hospitality is not just a job title. It is a form of leadership that shapes how people feel when they leave. Service can be taught as steps, but hospitality demands intention, language, and the courage to care beyond checklists. You witnessed how seeing the person transforms routine work, and how small acts of grace create a sense of belonging. You also saw how shared phrases, charitable assumptions, and smart systems protect empathy under pressure. Over time, this builds teams that trust each other, guests who return, and standards that continually rise. It also restores energy, as people breathe easier when they feel supported, rather than constantly bracing. Start small by identifying one moment this week where you will give a little more than required. Pair that with one internal habit, like a calm cue that reminds teammates to pause and help. When care becomes systematic, it no longer depends on mood but becomes the culture people feel. If you want more ideas for fostering that kind of everyday excellence, subscribe and keep practicing.